Alright, my loves, we are here back with another video to talk about La Santa Muerte. Today we're going to be covering her red robe, which is La Roja. But before we go ahead and get started, I do want to let you know that I'm on Patreon, and that's www.patreon.com/curethehealer. I do mentorship, I do healing sessions, I do readings as well. I also offer free healing sessions every Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time via Zoom on my Patreon. So you could check that out. There are free memberships, so you're more than welcome to join in as the free member and get access to free healings. I also do discounted or donation-based Reiki attunements as well, or healing attunements, so you can also check that out as well and join the community. I also have a shop where you can buy my spiritual products, and those products are at jaguar.lotus.healingstudio.com. But we're just gonna hop in today's video so that we're able to talk more about the manifestations, the robes, because that's something I definitely wanted to talk about, was the robes. Because if you start working with La Santa Muerte, typically you start with one robe color. La Roja was the first robe color that I worked with. She's the first robe color that has come to me in dreams and in visions. I will say, when I first started to work with her, I was very scared to work with this manifestation because I heard a lot of negative things. I've heard that she can be very catty, especially when people compare her to another, I would say, harsher manifestation, which would be Negra. I've heard that she's capable of being more catty than Negra. In my own personal opinion, Negra is just very like, I am going to do whatever it is that I want to do, and that's kind of it. Don't ask me to change it up. I'm just, I'm going to do it. Roja is more so very catty, very demanding. I want it this way. And honestly, it was I had to grow into love in that relationship, which I think in any relationship you're supposed to do that. You grow into love with your spirits. There's some people who say like, oh, off the bat everything was great. I always talk about my experience. My experience was not amazing at first, and I think it was just a lot of learning curves with working with these kind of spirits, because they're a little bit more intense with their energy rather than working with ascended masters. And I was someone who typically worked with ascended masters and archangels before I started moving into becoming a devotee of La Santa Muerte. Now, working with La Roja, what is she capable of doing? What are her gifts? What are her powers? While La Santa Muerte, technically, you don't need a statue to work with her. You can use prayer cards. You can print out an image. I think the statues are something. I also do apologize. I gave her a cleanse today. I gave her a baño, and I put cascarilla in it, so she looks a little ashy. But I promise my girl's not. She's not ashy. She just got a bath today, so she got the little white flecks on her. But purpose that and that's the thing, when she came at the perfect time. This manifestation came at a time that I needed her. I was going through a lot of stuff with my family, and she's very good with repairing relationships, love relationships, family relationships. She's also good with cleansing bloodlines as well. So I did a lot of work with her to heal what I had going on in my family dynamic, healing any curses, generational curses that were passed, anything that I had that was residual energy from previous relationships that I had that were inhibiting me from being able to move forward and to do the proper healing that I need to move forward. She was able to clear that up. She's also a very fierce and powerful protector. So I also use her as well in a lot of protection work. You can use any form of La Santa Muerte to do some form of protection, but there are some forms where you might want to use them for something else. For example, I will also be talking about her golden coat, which is Niña Dorada, and she's very good for transmutation, as well as money, right? There's so many different manifestations that you can use, but Roja is the one that this is the first one that came to me, so this is the one that I first learned to work with and had to get used to. And I think they just started me off with like a heavier hitter, because I tend to jump into things and I just kind of go with it. I'm a very quick learner. So, I learned basically her likes, her dislikes. I learned how to, appease her and do what I have to do to build that connection and relationship. But I did start off with a manifestation that's a little bit more harsh when it comes to coat colors. People who work with Blanca are going to find that La Blanca is a whole lot more softer in her energy. But because Roja is such a heavy hitter, she's also good for me. She was good for me to start off with because I needed the protection. I'm very soft in my energy and my nature. So I needed something that was going to be a little bit more harsh to work with so that if anybody's trying to hurt me or harm me, I have something or someone who's very big, very strong, very powerful to help me. But with La Roja, she does a whole lot more work that has to do with, like I said, healing your bloodline. Anything that has to do with blood, anything that has to do with love, anything that has to do with relationships. There is another manifestation I'm going to talk about that's very good for romantic relationships as well as self-love, but we're not going to get into that tonight. Just only Roja. And also, if you notice, this was not my first statue. The first statue I have, I showed her before. She was Siete Potencias, the seven powers. But this one was the second one. I was actually gifted this by someone. And I got hit really bad. So one night it was crazy. I had a dream. I was under a lot of heavy spiritual attack. And in the dream, La Santa Muerte was protecting me. And I had a dream that it was my altar was against the wall, and I saw this shadow go behind, like literally it was like this, like I could see her in my dream, and then I saw a shadow go like this onto my altar, right? And I woke up that day, I was like, something's wrong, like something is really wrong. And I end up losing a piece of her scale, and just this one scale. So it was a lot of imbalance in my life during that time when I was going through that. But also, I love her so much, I just can't, I would never cut ties with this statue just because it's broken. So when my statues do break down, that happens. That's a part of becoming a practitioner. I also have a huge floor level one that's about maybe 4 foot tall of La Roja that I painted. So whichever manifestation is calling to you, you should work with whatever comes to you. It's not always going to be La Blanca that's going to come to you first. It could be a manifestation that might be more harsh. It could be a manifestation that might be soft. It could be one that wants you to work in this area. I've had dreams of so many different coats of La Santa Muerte, and I've also had no dreams of certain coat colors that I still worked with because they would help with doing certain things. But I do feel like when you start off with one color and then go from there. Roja is very good for protection. She's also good if you want to do reversal work, protection work, anything that has to do with, so let's say you and your family having troubles like quarrels and fights and disagreements. She's a very great manifestation to work with to bring some kind of unity and peace within the home, especially in your love life as well. And she's a very quick worker, or turnaround time when she does her work, whenever you're doing magic with her. So I always recommend just taking your time doing the research and studying before you hop into a manifestation. And then just get to know the spirit, who they are, what they do, because each manifestation is going to feel different from each other. The next video I will cover another coat color, so you should be looking out for that one very soon. It'll drop. You can always subscribe, support your girl. It's much appreciated that y'all are even watching my videos in the first place, but I just want y'all to know how much I love y'all. Appreciate y'all, and I will talk to y'all soon. Bye.